The third key to early literacy is sleep. So much goes on in your brain when you sleep, and a lot of it is extremely important to literacy. So, what happens a lot of times is that we have kids, they go to school, they come home, and they don't look at the material. They don't revisit the material they learn. They go to bed at crazy hours. Then they go back to school the next day and they don't remember anything that they've learned. So, as teachers, we constantly have to reteach them the same material because they're not remembering the material. And that comes from a lack of sleep. Now, every year I would survey my students to see how much sleep they're getting. And about 90% of my students were not getting enough sleep. What are they doing? They are talking to each other on the phone. They are playing video games with each other, or they're up watching Netflix or, YouTube or something like that. And they're going to bed 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So, of course, they're tired when they get to school and they have the inability to focus and function the way they should, which is directly going to affect their ability to learn. So, this is how it's supposed to work. You go to school, you learn, you come home, you revisit the information, meaning you do some kind of homework to kind of sharpen or to stimulate the information that's in your short-term memory. All right. And so that's why homework is important. That's why revisiting the material is important because it helps to solidify the information that's in your short-term memory. And then you go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, the information in your short-term memory gets downloaded into your long-term memory, and those neurological pathways starts to form so that you can remember information. And when you go to school the next day, you got it. You don't have to be, you know what you learned. You can pick up right where we left off and take it from there. So we definitely want to make sure our children are getting the right amount of sleep. And listen, when you are tired, it's hard to focus. When you are tired, it's hard to regulate your emotion. So children get short with each other. They get short with the teachers because they are tired. So sleep, third key to early literacy, is extremely important. Now, the National Sleep Foundation have some recommendations for the amount of hours a child should sleep based on their age. And so take a look at this chart. Also check with your pediatrician to make sure that your child is getting the right amount of sleep. We want to make sure we set up an environment where our child can go to sleep at the appropriate bedtime and wake up refreshed. All right. So what happens when you have multiple kids? What are you supposed to do? Well, the youngest child need the most sleep. So the house should go quiet around the time that the youngest child needs rest. Because what we don't want to do is deprive the youngest child of the development and the rest that they need for their brain to grow properly. So definitely make sure you are tracking how many hours your child is getting and make sure you are also getting the right amount of sleep.